And okay, sorry guys. For some reason my phone locked itself just as soon as I clicked the live button. So, welcome this afternoon. I am Kara with Kinsley's Creative Palette, and I help women have lots of fun being creative and using that for a stress relief. So, today I have a super fun project that I've been promising for, hello Mary, a couple weeks, and it's finally all coming together. Lisa, I missed talking to you this week too. Mary, you're a precious. So next week, Lisa, we're picking back up next week. So don't get used to me not messaging you. It was just a fluke because I was working on too many other things this week. Hello, the other Lisa. Limley is on. Hello, Miss Alicia. Guys, we are making the porch leaner today. So I told you guys last week how to go to Lowe's or Home Depot and pick out your wood. And I have already painted mine. Let me show you what I bought. I believe it's a 10-inch board. But I bought the 10-foot version, and then I had them cut it down in the store. So it was $18. Thank you for sharing. That's so sweet. So it was $10 for $18 for a 10-foot piece, and you can get 2 porch leaners out of this. Now, if you're doing something like home and not welcome, then you can actually get 3. So you wouldn't want them to cut it in half, you would want them to cut it in thirds. So what I'm saying is, if you're making these for gifts or whatever, your price per product goes down. So what you're gonna need to do this is, I sell on my website a pack of printable PDFs, and you're going to need that pack, which is $10. And then you can either cut your own attachments if you want to replace the O with attachments, like for Thanksgiving, a turkey in place of the O. There's all these different ones. Let me show you. So this is what all comes in the set, and there's actually one more than this. The turkey is not on here, but it does come in the set. So there is a pineapple, an apple, a shamrock, a heart, a flag, a sunflower, a cupcake, a pumpkin, a candy corn, flip-flops, what is that? Snowman head, a rabbit or bunny for Easter, and a Christmas tree. So let me just tell you guys a little secret. There are enough shapes on here that you could, if you purchase the pack of pre-made or pre-cut shapes, which I only have 40 of those, and some of those have already sold. They are on the website. It's free shipping. There's $75 for the set. That comes out to $5 a piece plus $5 shipping, which shipping will be more than that, but I was just trying to make it a good round number. You'll get all 14 of those. They're 6 inches, and they all ship next week and the week after. So if you want those, make sure you grab yours. But what I was going to say is, if you're making these for gifts, you can split that pack up. You could get 2, maybe even 3, porch leaners out of that one pack if you strategically gave, different shapes to different people. So like, for example, the sunflower and the pineapple, and I'm trying to see what else. I guess those are the only 2 that, and the flip-flops. No, those are probably just those 2, the sunflower and the pineapple. Those could go year-round. So you could give, I'll offer to pre-paint sets if someone doesn't want to paint their own. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Alicia loves to paint. She was actually supposed to be here live with me today, but then her husband got called into work. So, okay, so these, you could split these up. I would say you're safe splitting them into 2. But you could even do them more than that. So if you want to cut your own, these templates are on the website. This pack is $10 for the templates, and then the letters are $10. But if you want to buy the pre-made, pre-cut 6-inch shapes, those are also up there, and they are limited supply. So I've got this board. It's just kind of kind of awkward to try to paint live, so I may have to back the camera up. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to use. I'm going to cut these down because I don't want them so big. And I'm going to get graphite paper, which I gave y'all all of those links above. Okay, so I've got graphite paper. Do you have the home one also? Megan, this pack comes with all 26 letters. So if you purchase the PDF download, you get all the letters. So you can write whatever you want. You could do believe, home, joy, peace, whatever you want to do. It's all included in that pack. So you don't have to purchase multiple packs. Dana, the pre-cut, it's a pack of 14 6-inch shapes, and they are $75, and that includes shipping. So it comes out to a little over $5 per shape. But like I said, that does include shipping. Okay, so I'm cutting these down. This is what size the letters are. Connie, yes, I love it too. Okay. Yes, Megan, that was my thought, was I had so many people that said, well, I want it to say this, or I want it to say that. Well, you know what? It can say whatever you want it to say. We're not going to be picky about that. Hey, Leslie, I've missed you too. So I was just flipping through when I was doing my accounting this week. I was flipping through and I was meaning to reach out to you. So I hope that you are doing well. I've missed hearing from you and seeing you. And please know that if y'all disappear for a little while, I really do notice and I really do miss you. Right now I'm spacing out my letters. I just cut these and I'm just going to try to figure out, did you get your jacket from the t-shirt club? No, my jacket, so I don't know if y'all follow me personally on Facebook, but I started off 10 years ago. Yes, I'll let you know the distance. Started off 10 years ago monogramming, like doing embroidery and applique. And so I actually have, it's right behind me, a 6-needle machine. And so I embroider or applique, or sorry, monogram a lot on my own. But I'm embarrassed to say, I had 3 bags that I wanted to monogram that had been sitting in my office, and it wasn't until I cleaned it out on Monday, which it's still clean, guys, it's still clean. It wasn't until I cleaned it out on Monday that I found them. And so anyway, I've monogrammed like crazy. I did stockings and all kinds of stuff this week. But no, this jacket was like, seriously, it's my favorite. It was like $8 at Gabe's. It's kind of like Ross. I don't know if y'all have Gabe's where you are, but I don't even know. It's not like a name brand or anything. And I monogrammed it last year, and it's like it's almost like a security blanket. It's one of those like I put on pretty much every time I leave the house, unless it's like frigid, and then I have to upgrade to a bigger jacket. Okay, so we're not going to be able to do all the letters on live today, but I want to show you the process because it is not hard, okay? So what I'm going to do is there's my tape. We're going to space these letters out, and depending on how big your board is, hey Wanda, welcome. So depending on how big your board is going to depend on how much room you have at the top and the bottom, and how you want to space yours out. I don't want a ton of space between my letters, so I'm going to move these down so that I've got to remember I need another E, and you can print as many of these as you want, but I just printed one E, so I need to make sure that I leave room for it. And then I'll tell you how far apart my letters are. And guys, I'm telling y'all, they're not going to be perfect, but they're going to be adorable. Okay, so let's see if that's going to be about right. Nope, that's too far down. All right, I need to split the difference. So the good news is we're going to be able to leave some room at the top and the bottom with this 5-foot board to be able to like add flourishes or whatever you wanted to. Add a little bit. Oh, you know what would be cute is if you wrapped it with twine. You can even get the heavy duty stuff and they sell it at Joann's, I know, but it's like bigger. It's like almost like a rope, and you could wrap. That would be super cute. All right, so I'm just kind of spacing these letters out, and then I'm gonna grab this E. I'm gonna move it down here. Let's see, and I think that's about right. So at the top and bottom, I'll measure. Let's see. Oh, I'm gonna go this way. I got 6.5 inches. Let me see what I have up here. Yep, about the same. So I started my first letter. Add their name and yes, Megan, that would be awesome. Is established in the date or the name. Yeah, absolutely. And you could even do a last name. Like I could get Williams on here. But since I want to do the attachments for the O, there's not an O in Williams. I guess I could pick a different letter, but to me it doesn't make sense. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, so I've got 6.5 inches at the top. This is a 5-foot board with my 6-inch template letters, okay? So I want to make sure everybody understands that. I'm going to cut this piece of graphite paper in half because I don't need the full sheet. And I have linked my Amazon store, which is, I will be using the graphite paper from there, and I'll be using a magic paint pen. You like that, how I call it magic? I'm going to be using the Posca pen for my, my letters. All right, so what I want to do first is I want to, now that I have all of these letters where I want them, I'm going to put this E back up here where it was. And I make sure my spacing is about right. Okay, so Mary wanted to know how much space. I already gave y'all the top and the bottom. She wanted to know how much space between the letters. So let's measure. Let me get this just where I want it. Oh, had a piece of hair on there. I went and got my hair cut this morning, so I feel like I'm shedding everywhere. Okay, so the letters between each letter, from the bottom of one letter to the top of the next letter, is 1.5 inches. So 6.5 inches at the top, 6.5 inches at the bottom, 1.5 inches between. And when I say the top and the bottom of the letters, not the top and the bottom of my paper, because that's going to be different based on the way you cut it. It's the top and the bottom of the letter. All right, so to stabilize my patterns on just one side, I am going to tape. Who already has the letters in the kit for the attachments? Y'all shout it out in the comments if you do. Because I know several of you, especially the ones that are in my virtual paint party, snatched that up as soon as I've listed it. Now, I did, you're welcome, Mary. I did, I did pre-paint my board with chalk paint, but it's still kind of see-through because I was going to distress it. I'm probably going to distress it after I trace my letters on, but before I paint them. So after I get all these laid and traced, and then before I take my paint marker and actually do them. So I'm going to try to get several of these traced on live today. And I am headed to Kentucky on Sunday. My little guy and I are making a quick road trip to go pick up all those attachments. So I'm super excited to get to do that. Now I am going to pull this O off so I don't accidentally trace it. But if you did not want to do the attachments, you would want to keep your O or whatever letter on there. So let me just put that down. All right, so I've got all of my letters taped down on one side. So I'm just going to pick somewhere and get started. I'm going to pick right here where it's easy for me to show you on screen. So I'm just going to set my tracing paper, or my graphite paper, I should say, under there. And then I need something with a sharp edge I'm going to use a pencil. Ah, Stephanie's on. Stephanie, aren't you supposed to be working? Okay. She cut my hair this morning. That's my Steph on there. All right, so I'm just going to, oh, this lead's going to break. It's okay. I'm just going to trace this right onto my board. And I'll show y'all in just a minute what that looks like after I get one traced. Oh, and that's awesome. Can you still paint the O and just you can, but the attachment may not the attachment may not cover it completely. So I can't promise that all the attachments will cover it, because like the pineapple is kind of taller and narrow. So that's totally up to you. Jessica says, I struggle so bad with getting my letters even and straight. Girl, I'm not all about perfectionism. I'm all about having fun and doing something crafty. Okay, can y'all see that, or do I need to move this up, tilt it up? Okay, see how it transferred right there to my board? So I'm going to do that with all my letters, and then I'm going to show you how I will distress this board before I paint it. Okay, I can go ahead and take this seat off. Now, you can reuse these over and over and over again. So if you are somebody that has to go like to Staples or Office Depot or somewhere to have things printed, have all the letters printed at once and then just save them. Put them in a clear, like the notebook with, you could even punch holes in them if you wanted. But I was going to say with the page protectors, and use them that way. Now I will tell you, hello Lisa, I will tell you that you don't want to cut the sides off. So like I don't want to cut this extra real estate I have over here and over here off, because then it's going to be harder to line up. At least this way I know I can use how much space is on either side of the board to make sure that I'm lining these up. I would love it if you guys would sprinkle the love and do that SHARE stuff with your friends. I would love that so much if you feel so inclined, or if you have friends who might want to make this. But you see what I'm saying? How there's all this extra space? Well, every letter is different, and that space is going to be different on these sides, especially when I get to like the M and the W. So if you take that off, it's going to be way harder to line up. So I'm just going to keep going. I'll move this down. I can't move it all the way down because the bottom of the board will fall. It'll get too heavy. Guys, can y'all believe it's Friday? It is Friday, and I am so excited that we have nowhere to be tomorrow and that we are staying home to decorate for Christmas. And then Sunday, I have a huge sign order that I'm going to pick up in Kentucky, and I talked my son into car road tripping with me, and he is precious, guys. Like, my kids are great, and they're both, it's funny because, you know, I love them both in the same, but in different ways. And whenever I asked him if he wanted to go to Kentucky with me, he asked me what I was going to go do, and I said, well, I've got to go pick up a big sign order, and I'm going to need somebody to help me load it into Dad's truck. And I didn't want to take my husband and both kids with me because I need the space in the truck. And so, thank you so much, Lisa. When he realized that, like, if he didn't go, I was going to be going by myself, he's like, yeah, Mom, I'll go with you. And I was next door. He's so protective. I was next door. My paint studio is, Wanda, I'll tell you in just a second. My paint studio is right here on our property in a barn next door. And a couple weeks ago, I had a party on a Saturday, and Friday night, I still had some signs to cut. And so I went over there. I was like, guys, I'm just going to go camp out next door and cut signs. And he came over there, and he doesn't like the noise of the saw. So he was like, I was in one room cutting, and he was out in the big room. And I walked out there at one point. Thank you, Tabitha. And welcome, babe. I walked out there at one point, and he is sitting there, like, twiddling his thumbs. Like, he was playing with, like, a paintbrush like this. I mean, just, like, not doing anything. And I go, buddy, honey, you can go home if you want to. And he said, Mom, I'm not leaving you over here by yourself. It's dark. And I was like, he's precious. He is my little protector. He always has been since he was a toddler. You know, moms and their boys. I never knew the kind of love you could have for a boy that was not your husband until I gave birth to my son. And my daughter, she is the coolest chick. Like, she's hilarious. She has this amazing... oh, it's the first time, Brittany. Welcome. Thank you. How old are my kids? 9 and 11. My son will be 10 next month, and my daughter will be 11 in March. But it's so funny because she has this like super sarcastic sense of humor, which my husband and I both have too, but my son didn't get it. And so it's really funny because like it's such a different relationship. Because with my son, everything is cut and dry, and I won't say there's no humor, but if we make a joke, he's very literal, and he doesn't really get it. Whereas if I make a joke with her, I mean, she instantly gets it. And so it's so different. And she is the most creative person I've ever met. Sorry, I'm talking about my kids, maybe because I like them just a little bit. But whenever I need to name something, she comes up with the best names, whereas I like draw blank. Connie says she has 3 sons and 6 grandsons. No girls? You have no girls? Brittany, FYI, these are available on my website to make your own porch leaner. I have this pack of letters, and it comes with all 26. You're just joining me. And then I also have these templates that you can purchase and cut with a jigsaw, or I have them for sale on the website. I've only got, thank you for sharing. I started off with 40 sets. I'm not sure how many I have left, but some of them were pre-sold before I ever even had a price. So those I can't remember how many of those, but if you order today, you should be good. So I'm just tracing this on, and then I'm going to distress my board. It does have 1 coat of chalk paint on it. The chalk paint that I use is a very inexpensive chalk paint. It comes from Home Depot, and it is the Rust-Oleum brand. Thank you. It comes in it's the Rust-Oleum brand, and it comes in a can, like is it the quart? I don't know, whatever that can is. And when I bought it, if you order online, here's a tip for you. It'll bring your cost even lower if they still have it. If you order online, there's a 2-pack, and it was barely any more, like maybe 30% more for the 2-pack than for the 1-pack. And then they shipped it straight to the store. So I had to wait like a couple days to go and pick it up. But I got 2 cans for not much more than the price of 1. Hey, Sonia. How are ya? All right, guys, because I need to put that E down here, I'm going to leave my M until I get my E situated. Because remember, I measured from the bottom of the other letter. So I need to grab this one and tape it on with about 1.5 inches between the letters. And then I have on each side, I don't know where I put my ruler, probably under here. Let me do this measurement. There's about a little over 1/4 of an inch on either side. But I had 1.5 inches between here, and yep, that's where it was. All right, so I'm gonna tape that down, and I can now take my M off. Okay, make sure that's straight, and now I need to find my pencil. Oh, there it is. Friends, I don't know what y'all want for Christmas. Wanda, why does it scare you? I don't know what you guys are asking for Christmas, but I do want to give you a heads up. I have a private Facebook group, and several of my people are on right now, and we have a lot of fun. We do one new project a month, and then I usually add other fun things. For example, this month we did this in our group. I don't know if you can see, but it's like textured. It's little gnomes, and we used Mod Podge and scrapbook paper and all kinds of fun stuff. So we have that private group, and we only open a few times a year, and the last time we opened was in September, and I'm gonna do a quick opening December 9th. It'll be that week, to anyone who wants to join us, because several of you messaged me and said, I would love to be able to get something that I'm actually going to use for Christmas instead of, you know, a scarf or a new toaster. And so if you wanted to ask your significant other or your parents or whoever to chip in, you could get a membership. It's only $19 a month, and you're guaranteed one door hanger project. And we do other stuff too. It's your birthday. That's awesome. Are you going to join us, Tabitha? Let me see what Wanda said. Scares me. Uh-oh. Wanda, it won't let me see the rest of your... Oh, there it is. She wants to distress. That's funny. Wanda, so I have a silhouette. You want a Cricut Explorer? Oh, Tabitha, is that what you're getting for your birthday? Is a Cricut? I have the silhouette, and I have I had one for years, and now I have the one that Bluetooth connects, and I love it. Oh, okay, distressing. So guys, I do have one layer of chalk paint on here, and now that I get up, I can show you what that chalk paint looks like. This, it's hard to see because my can is kind of painted over, but it's the Rust-Oleum Linen White, and I just brushed it on thin. It's not, ooh, and this lid's not even on. Anyway, I've had this can, I've been using it for quite a while now. But to distress, normally you want to use, I'm gonna see if I have one in here. You want to use like a chipboard, I don't know how you say it, that brush that is, they're kind of crappy brushes. I think this one might work. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my letters over here and throw some stuff away. And I'm going to get some paint on I need a plate. I don't think I have one in here. I'm going to have to run grab a plate. Sorry about that. Normally I use, I'm in low power mode. Normally I use these for my paint. Okay, so normally I use these for my paint, but when you're doing a distressing, you need to get most of the paint off of your brush, and so I'm going to use this instead. Now, I am going to try to tilt this down so there's not so much of a glare. And then you'll just have to kind of watch as I do this. There's no science to it. And you can use whatever color to distress that you want to. I'm going with black, but I'm also going to grab some gray and white. Okay. Okay, so this, you do want something flat instead of like an egg carton, because you're going to need to get most of your paint off. Okay, so I'm going to get just a tiny bit of gray, and you can do, like I said, whatever colors you want. You can do browns. I'm going to grab some white, and then I'm going to take, I'm going to size down a brush. See if there's any brush I like better than this one. I think this is going to be it. Okay. I would get a, gosh, guys, somebody tell me what they're called, like a chip something brush, but it's not essential. All right, so I got some paint on. I'm going to get most of it off. All right, guys, the main thing is you want to go straight up and down so that you mimic the wood. You're light in some areas, dark in others. You don't need much paint at all. What board did you buy? So I will place, or I will post the replay whenever I'm done. But this was a 10-foot board. I think it's a 10-inch common board from Home Depot that I had them cut down to 5 foot for me. And I got 2 porch signs out of a 10-foot board, which was I think it was like $18.90 something was the price on that. All right, I'm going into my white now to calm down some of this that I maybe got too much. Oh, and guys, just a trick for you. I don't know if y'all saw, but when I cleaned my craft room on Monday, my table was an atrocious mess. Guys, it was terrible. Like, I had been painting, not putting my board down underneath, and I used the Goof Off. Yes, I will try to remember to do that, Megan. If I don't, please message me, because it's about, this is the time of day where I'm getting ready for my children to start getting home. And so a lot of times once I log off, I don't think about it anymore, especially on Friday afternoons. So it is a 10-foot common board, and I believe it was a 10-inch, because it's bigger than 8, so 8 would be too small. All right. So this board is about as distressed as I want it. If you over distress, then add more white, if that's the color chalk paint you used. And you could use straight chalk paint instead of the white paint like I have. But like right here, I got a little bit too much. So I'm going back over. All right. I think I am pretty happy with that. Okay, can y'all see that? You can distress it a little bit, you can distress it a lot. What I've also seen is taking paper towels and getting most of the paint off and then kind of rubbing it along the edges. So now, I don't want to get paint on my shirt, so I should probably put my apron on, but I'm going to show you my favorite paint marker. What's the name of it? I'll look for it while we're still watching. Okay, Megan, it's called a common board. It's a 10-foot, and I believe it's a 10-inch, even though it's not going to truly be 10 inches because the measurements that they give on lumber is before they square it up. So I believe it's a 10-inch board, 10-inch by 10 foot by 1, so 10 by 1 by 10. And your final size is gonna be 9 1/4. So see if you can find that. It's called a common board. And it was $18 and something at our Home Depot. Okay, guys, the great thing about distressing is pretty much because you're almost dry brushing there's like no dry time. So I'm just going to grab my paint marker and I'm going to get started. Now, I normally would start at the top, but because it's going to be hard for y'all to see, I'm going to start on the E. And I'm just going to use this magic paint marker, which is a Posca pen. They are in my Amazon affiliate store that I linked above. And I'm going to outline it. And then I'm going to fill it in. You can either fill it in with paint, which might go faster, or you can fill it in with your Posca pen. This would be at this point, would be a good project to, after you've gotten it this far, to sit in front of the TV and catch up on one of your recorded shows, because you're literally just going to be outlining what you've already done. I tried to tell y'all the other day how easy this is. And these would make, I know my mother would love one for Christmas, but these would make great gifts because you could, you know, whoever you gift it to can leave it out year round. Even if you don't do the attachments, even if you just do the letters. All right, so that E is outlined. Lisa says she's joining us on 12/9. I'm so excited, Lisa. Lisa, are you going to do the gnome project? Because it's going to be in the group. Oh, and I need chip brushes, yes. Let's see. Yes, Brittany, you need to have one yourself. Well, here's the thing. You're going to buy a 10-foot board anyway. They're going to cut it in half for you at Home Depot because you're going to ask them to and they're not going to charge you. And then it's easier for you to handle. And you'll have two boards, one to make for you and one to make for a friend. So, or a gift. So there you go. Right? So I will tell you that we do a contest each month inside our membership, and it's basically a creative challenge. I just challenge you guys to be creative and to post your projects, and any projects that you do that are Kinsley's Creative Palette templates or inspired by, those get entries into our creative challenge contest. And so last month we had over 80 entries. And guys, we're not a huge group. Like, we're a small group. And it was so exciting because the prize, even though our main project every month is a door hanger, our prize was a pack of watercolors and a watercolor, like a notepad. And guys, I was so stinking excited because the person who won, she was so excited because she's never done watercolors. So this month, our creative challenge prize is a prize pack that gives you the scrapbook paper, the canvas, gosh, what is it called? The stuff that makes your paint stand up. I can't think of what it's called. But it's not door hanger related either. And it's just another creative project. So we do have a lot of fun. And I hope that if you are looking for something great to boost your creativity, and also, guys, it does really good for your blood pressure to be creative. I hope that you'll consider joining us. Now, friends, if you go to Walmart and you buy the paint pens that they sell there, and you try to do what I'm doing right now, I'm going to warn you, it's not going to work. These Posca pens are like liquid gold. And while you can use any type of paint pen you want, These are more like a true marker. Like they pretty much never quit writing until they're out of juice. You don't have to worry about them skipping and going back and having to go back over areas. They're phenomenal. I think I might ask Santa to send me some new ones in my stocking this year. All right. Look how quick this goes. Fine. Oh, you couldn't find it? Megan, remind me and I'll try to find it. Oh, and ladies, when y'all go into Home Depot, I know we are all like super, what do you call it, independent, and we can do all the things ourselves, but there are so many boards that you may like get lost, and I don't want you to get the wrong board. So when you go in there, my recommendation is you go in the contractor door, like where the wood is. The paint pens are in my Amazon affiliate store. The link is in the post description. And these are the 5M paint pens. So they're all different sizes, but these are the PC-5M. Okay, so what I was gonna say is you wanna park, or I do, I park and I go in by like where the contractors and the lumber and everything are. And guys, as soon as you walk in there, you tell whoever is standing there that you need someone to cut wood for you. And then when that person shows up and says, okay, what do you need cut? Say, I need a 10-foot by 1 inch by 10 inch common board. And they will walk you over there and they will help you get your board and they will cut it for you. And if they don't, tell them that Kara told you that that's what they were going to do and that they don't have great customer service like her location. Just kidding. You might not want to say that. But no, I have found they're very helpful. All right. Friends, this is almost done. Now, obviously, I'm not going to leave it like this. I'm going to color these in. But somebody tell me, how long have I been live? Because I want to know how long this project's going to take. Okay, friends. So I've got about 6 inches at the top, 6 inches at the bottom. It's down on saw table, request another helper. Oh my goodness, Lisa, that is insanity. That is insanity. 47 minutes. Okay, so guys, from start to finish, we have our letters on, we've distressed our board, 47 minutes. And I talked a lot. Okay. All right, so the next thing that you would want to do is you either want to figure out what shape you want to cut for your, to replace your O, and you could just cut one at a time. Like you could just cut, you know, 1 or 2 shapes to start with. This one's a little bit bigger than what the normal 6-inch will be because this was just one that I had. This one's 7.5 inches, so yours will be slightly smaller than this. It'll fit on your board better. But now I'm just going to fill these letters in, and I'm going to get some twine and put it around the top. Now they do have this twine pretty much everywhere, but the twine that I was talking about, I know for sure they sell at Joann's, and it's thicker. It's almost more like a rope, and that would be super cute at the top and the bottom, or you could do like rope at the top. And at the bottom, someone said established in the year or your last name and established, however you want to do it. So I'm going to start filling these in, but I'm going to get black paint because I think that's going to go quicker. Now, when you're doing this, you want to size down your brush, and I like an angled brush. So this is just a small, stiff, it's a very stiff angle brush, and I'm just going to start filling in. And you just don't want to go past that line that you made. But this will just go faster than trying to use your paint pen. But you are welcome to use your paint pen. Hello, Denise. Hey, Latricia. I haven't seen you in a month of Sundays. So guys, don't forget, December 9th, we will open back up for just a few days and welcome anyone in who wants to join us. We have lots of fun stuff coming up after Christmas. Let's think. Okay, so in December, those of you who are already in the virtual paint party, we are doing a sign, since we've already done our snowman. We are doing a sign that can be left up year-round, and what's super cool about it is it can work similar to this sign, where you can use the 6-inch attachments and you can change based on the season. So it's gonna be a really cool door hanger. Hello, Jerry. It's gonna be a really cool door hanger, and it's gonna be super customizable. Like, this one is one that I fully expect some of my members to go rogue on and just blow me away, because it's just gonna be a lot of fun. All right. I have to go to Walmart this afternoon. Does anybody else just really dread that? And I was just there the other day, and thank you, Jerry. I was just there the other day, and I forgot something, and it's one of those, like, I could go to the drugstore, but it's so stinking expensive if buying like toiletries and stuff like that at the drugstore. So I'll brave Walmart. My son loves to go to Walmart. I'll get him off the bus and go to Walmart. Start our weekend. All right, so like I said, I'm not going to be able to paint the entire welcome sign letters live today, but I wanted to make sure you guys saw that I do have the sets of attachments pre-cut. I have a limited number of sets, and some of those have already sold. So make sure, if you're wanting one, that you order ASAP. Those will ship within 5 business days. Please remember, next week we do have Thanksgiving, so some of them may ship the following week. But you could go ahead and do all of the rest of this. Just make sure you leave that spot, that space for your O, and then you can paint those when they come in. That'd be super fun to paint over the holidays. You could work through your 14 attachments, and I attach mine to my sign with Velcro. So I have a piece of Velcro on my board, and then I have Velcro on the back of all of my attachments. That way you can just pop them on and off. And honestly, my kids love to do that part of it. They love to pop those on and off. Now friends, if you're like me and your paint is super thick, because I'm using this, I'm not using the thin acrylics. You can, it's just I didn't have any in black over here. This was all I had. So I'm using, it's still acrylics, but it's the thick stuff. You can dip your brush, dip it in water, and drip some water right into that, onto that paint, and kind of mix it up. And your paint will thin out a little bit, and it'll go further while you're lettering. You don't want to do that normally when you're painting, because it makes it a little bit more transparent. But with black, And when you're doing this, your paint will go further and you can go faster if you'll do that. So who all's gonna make one of these porch leaners? You see how much further that paint goes if you thin it out a little bit? Now, if you're using the acrylics in the little squeezy bottles, you may not have to thin yours out at all. But if you ever get a paint that you're lettering with or you're doing like finishing work with and it's too thick, just add a little bit of water. I don't think my mom is on here, but I'm making her something. Oh, Wendy said she's gonna make one. Yay! I'm making her something for Christmas. I'm hoping, but I'm trying to remember, or I'm trying to figure out where she'll use it in her house. To make one. Tabitha, they are not expensive. Like, none of these materials are expensive. Like, you can buy these little bottles of paint at Walmart for like 50 cents. Just get a black. You can get a black and a white, or get your white chalk paint and just get a little bottle of black. And then your board is about $19, but it'll make 2. And then the letters are reusable. Like, you can print as many as you want. And it comes with all 26 letters for 10 bucks. And then if you want to start off with just the O, you can totally do that. And then you can later on, you know, do the attachments. But most of everything you need, you can get at the lumber store. Our Home Depot is in the same parking lot with Hobby Lobby, and it is so dangerous, guys. Wanda travels all over the place. She's always on the go. Wanda is in our virtual paint party. And so is Miss Mary. I saw her on here. And Miss Lisa. Can't remember who else I saw on here. I think Dana was on here earlier. I don't know if she's still on. I haven't seen her comment lately. Leslie's in there. Oh, and what's really awesome is my virtual paint party members, they get a coupon code every month for 50% off their template purchase. So they get access to all of my old projects, and if they want to go back and paint one, they just have to purchase the template. So it makes the template $2.50 instead of $5. And they got to purchase all of these porch leaner letters for half off last month too. So they get one coupon code a month, and they can use it however they want, on big order, small order. It's just a perk of their membership. Because as of right now, I don't discount my templates. Guys, I'm going to get this whole thing painted live today. It really went faster once I thinned that paint out. Y'all know what would be pretty too is if you got the like the 1-inch burlap ribbon, and you did, like, you tied it around and then tied a big pretty bow at the top, just not with super long tails, you know, so you don't cover up your welcome. That would be really cute too. Yes, girl. Holy cow, that's crazy town. When I head to Kentucky this week, I'm picking up about 450 signs, and that doesn't include Like, that's counting the sets of 14 as one. I mean, it's like, it's going to be madness. So I will have some really fun projects coming up next year. And where right now I normally sell mostly templates, if you are not one that wants to cut your own wood, I will have some special cutouts, like certain shapes that I ordered in bulk. I'll have those available. All right, so I'm finishing this last little bit up. I cannot believe how quick this went. What are y'all doing this weekend? We're decorating for Christmas tomorrow. And I don't know who's more excited, me or the kids. We took down our Halloween stuff last weekend and our house feels so bare. So I'm excited to get our tree up. Wowzers, my jigsaw skills are not. Well, I'm going to have a lot of signs for sale coming up shortly. Now you can go back, look back over your sign, and oh, Lisa said she's going to be cooking. Back over your sign and see if you need to touch up anywhere, and if you do, just do that now. When I thin my paint out, sometimes you have to go back and touch it up a little bit, but it still is so much faster than trying to work with thick paint. Lisa, I wish I was coming to Alabama this week. I would be knocking on your door, sleeping in your garage. Like, please take me and my son in for the weekend. All right, friends, I think that's it. Check this out. Guys, look what we just did. Like, I know it's hard to see. Let me back up a little bit. Let me prop it up and turn my camera. All right, let me prop that up. And let me see if I can back up my camera. Guys, how awesome is that sign? And can you imagine, now you have to picture your cutouts are going to be a little bit smaller than mine, but how adorable is that? And it was a $10 board, less than $10 board. And you can make as many as you want with the, let's see, this is not related. I love my mom, but she... Oh, Mary, I'm sorry. But you could, guys, you could make these and sell these on the yard sale sites. And you could just put the O, and you could do believe, and you could do the smaller ones that say home. And I have a little wreath for the O on my front porch for the home. So I have welcome, home, and then the O on my welcome is interchangeable, and then the O on my home is a wreath. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this project. If you're looking for any of the stuff, it's in the links above. I will try to go find that board link and post it. But I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for joining me. And I hope that y'all are going to have a great weekend, getting ready for crazy big holiday next week. And I hope that you spend some time with your family and loved ones. So bye, guys. I'm certain I will see y'all Monday or Tuesday. Well, I say that. Maybe Monday, because Tuesday I'll be at school. So I will most likely be shipping orders on Monday, the packets of attachments. All right, friends, have a good one. Bye.